Okay, first consider digital input modules. So for the input devices, so they will receive so signals at 230 volts. Okay, if it is AC, they will receive at 230 volts. Okay, for the PLC to understand the signals, it should be converted into so 5 volt DC signal. Okay, so for that there is a conversion circuit. Okay, so that is displayed here. Okay, block of terminals means so you are going to connect wires from various input devices. It may be sensors, okay, to the terminal blocks of the PLC. Okay, next, so conditioning will be done using various electronic components like resistors. Okay, so then conductors, diodes. Okay, by making use of these things, so we can condition the signal. So that means we can convert a high power signal into so low power signal. Okay, and we can convert from AC to DC. Okay, next there will be a isolation. This isolation is for safety purpose. Okay, so we are able to isolate PLC components of the PLC from this high power supply. Okay, with the help of this isolation unit. So that we will discuss in detail. Next, multiplexing. So in multiplexing, so it will receive signals and it will deliver signals in series. Okay, it is going to receive signals and it will group them and it will deliver them in series. So that is the function of multiplexing. Okay, so all this we will discuss in detail. Digital input modules are designed to receive discrete signals. So digital means it is discrete. Okay, so that is like binary, on, off, okay, present, absent. So these are discrete data. Okay, so analog data means analog is a continuously varying data like dimension, weight, okay, or any electric signal. Okay, so that is an analog signal. Digital means so it is discrete signal, so it will take some numbers. Okay, so 1 2 0 1, okay, on off, presence absence, okay, present absent. So that is the discrete data. Digital input modules are designed to receive discrete signals from the input devices and convert them appropriately for further processing while electrically isolating them before being transferred to the memory of the PLC. This will be done by that isolation unit. Okay, so that will isolate these high power signals to they will avoid entering of high power signal into PLC by isolating them. These signals are electrical voltages that can have different values and can be either continuous or alternate. For this reason, the input modules performs a conversion of the voltage level and a modulation of the input signals so that it becomes compatible with the operating voltage of the microprocessor in the PLC and other electronic components. Okay, so that means here there will be a conversion of voltage from 230 volts AC supply to 5 volt DC. Okay, how this conversion will be done, that will understand with the help of conversion circuit. In order to isolate the high power levels that characterize industrial input devices from the low power signals at the microprocessor, the modulated signals are directed to the electrical isolation unit. Each shaped and electrically isolated signal is multiplexed with other similar signals produced by the same input module in order to be transferred serially to the microprocessor. So the function of multiplexer is to identify similar signals and to group them and deliver them serially. For the case of small PLCs, when we have a parallel transfer of the input status, no multiplexing unit is utilized. Each digital input module also features a simple visual indication of the corresponding circuit status for each of the inputs. So it will there will be a LED. Okay, so that will give a visual display regarding presence or absence of input signal. Okay, so that is on or off, so that the user is aware of the operational mode of the input devices. So even before executing the program by interfacing it with external devices, okay, just you can run a program and you can see the status of inputs and outputs on this with the help of these LEDs in the PLC. So these are the typical input devices. So there, most of them are sensors, okay, limit switches, selector switches, buttons of all kinds, rotary switches, switching relay contacts, photoelectric switches, proximity switches, keyboard contacts, any kind of converters, arithmetic switches or numerical switches. Okay, so these are the input devices. So PLC is going to receive signals from these various sensors. So these are some of them. Numerical switches are able to insert numbers in the PLC in a simplified approach without using a computer or other digital programming device. The numeric switch, so this is one of the input device. The numeric switches carry a numbered thumb wheel switch through which the numerical data to be transferred to the PLC by using a limited number of digital inputs can be selected. Okay, this is thumb wheel switch for arithmetic data. So here, there are some inputs, okay, and inputs they are nothing but, so they are electric contacts, okay, like this. So depending on close or open type of contact, okay, so it can give an input regarding a number, okay. So for example, so if it has to give input regarding 0, okay, then all 4 contacts will be open. So if it has to give an input regarding position 1, okay, then only contact 1 will be closed, so remaining all are open. So if it has to give position 2, indication of position 2, next only 2 will be closed, remaining 1, 3 and 4 will be open, as it is like this. So like this, depending on open and close contact of these 4, okay, so it can give indication of 10 values from 0 to 9, okay. So depending on, if you consider 8 sets of this type of contacts, you can represent so 100 values from 0 to 99. Okay, so this is how this thumb wheel switch works. Okay, it is based on the electric contacts. Okay, numerical switch presented in figure contains 4 switching contacts that can be opened or closed depending on the position of the switch according to the number selected. So again, so if you want 0, so all 4 will be kept in closed contact. If it is if you need 1, okay, so then only this will be closed. So if you want 2, only this will be closed. Like that it will be continued. So in few cases you will close 2 and you will open, you will make 2 contacts open. Okay, that will also indicate a particular position. Numerical switch in figure is able to provide 10 different choices from 0 to 9 by utilizing only 4 digital inputs. So here it is a digital input because only two conditions, open or close, open contact or close contact. The combination of 2 such numerical switches allows for 100 options from 0 to 99 by using only 8 digital inputs. So next, this is the circuit okay, for converting high power signal into low power signal. So input signal, usually it will be 230, not 220, it will be 230 volt AC. So for a PLC, it requires 5 volt DC supply. Okay, so for that there is a conversion circuit. Okay, this is the conversion circuit. So it consists of 4 parts. One is receiving the signal from the input devices. So it may be AC or DC supply. In this case, we are considering, suppose if the input is AC, okay, input signal is AC from the input device, then it will go for conditioning. In conditioning, so we will convert this 230 volt AC into DC, okay, 5 volt DC. For conversioning, we make use of various bridge rectifier, okay, so then conductor, resistor, diodes, okay, Zener diode. So all those we'll discuss in detail. And there is a isolator. Okay, this will isolate high power supply circuit or high power elements from the elements of the PLC. Okay, for safety purpose. Whenever if there's a short circuit, okay, that should not have an impact on the PLC. In order to ensure that, so we make use of this isolation with the help of optical isolator, opto isolator. Okay, then there will be a logical signal which is having 5 volt supply. Okay, so initially from the input devices, okay, so 230 volt AC will be supplied. Okay, then so there is a bridge. Okay, so rectifier bridge. So the function of this rectifier bridge is to reduce the voltage from 220 volts to a lower signal. Okay, then so the function of this capacitor is to do conditioning of the signal. Okay, so is to again by making this electric signal flow through the rectifier bridge and this capacitor and resistors. Okay, we are able to reduce 220 volt AC into 5 volt DC supply. Okay, so this resistor, capacitor, okay, Zener diode. So each component have their own function that we discuss in next slide. Okay, the function of this opto isolator is to isolate this high power electric component, electron components with the components of the PLC. Okay, and again here it consists of a LED indicator, okay, and a photo transistor. So after conditioning, okay, so this LED will receive a signal from this circuit. When it receives a signal, it will get on. Okay, when it get on, there will be light. Okay, because of LED in on condition. This light will fall on this photo transistor. Okay, when photo transistor receives this light signals, when light falls on this photo transistor, okay, it will get activated. That means it will become conductive. So now this 5 volt supply can pass through this photo transistor and it can make this LED blink. Okay, suppose if there is if it is in switch off mode, there will be no light falling on the transistor. If there is no light falling on transistor, so it will not allow this 5 volt to pass through it. Okay, it will allow 5 volt supply to pass through it only when it receives light signal from the LED. Okay, so this is how it will work. And this 5 volt supply, this is an external supply. Okay, it is an additional supply, not from this line. This is an additional supply. Okay, and finally this 5 volts will be delivered to PLC. Okay, so from this circuit, what you are receiving is, so you will receive a signal to actuate this photo transistor. Okay, based on that, so PLC will receive a signal having 5 volt DC. Okay, this is how it will work. Next, an external electric connection of an input device. So these are the terminal blocks. Depending on presence of an input signal, there will be a LED. Okay, if there is a connection to this input, okay, this light will blink. So like that, there is an indication. Okay, if the input signal is DC voltage, only the insertion of a resistor circuit for converting voltage level is required. Okay, suppose, so instead of AC, if it is only DC, so you need not have this isolator and all these things. Okay, only resistor circuit for converting voltage is required. Okay, these resistors are sufficient. So if the input signal is AC voltage, then the input circuit contains an additional AC to DC converter or bridge rectifier. So this is the bridge rectifier. So this is required to convert AC to DC. The smoothing capacitor. So this is the smoothing capacitor. C stabilizes the output voltage of the rectifier. Okay, so here from the rectifier you are going to get DC supply. Okay, AC will be converted into DC by this rectifier. Then this capacitor C, okay, will stabilize the output voltage of the rectifier. It will stabilize, while the resistors reduce the voltage to the desired low level. So this R3, R4, these are the resistors. They will reduce the voltage level to 5 volts. The voltage of the Zener diode determines the minimum voltage value that could be detected. So here, in order to make this LED blink, okay, so you need 5 volt DC supply. Okay, that will be identified by this Zener diode. This low level DC voltage is applied to the light emitting diode, that is this LED, that is structurally integrated with a phototransistor. So this is the phototransistor and this is the LED. So they are integrated because this phototransistor will work based on the signal from this LED. The last element is an electronic circuit. So this is that electronic circuit powered by an independent internal power source. So the source for this 5 volt is a different one, not this one. The light is emitted from the LED. That means, so based on this signal conditioning, okay, so if 5 volt okay signal passes through this Zener diode, okay, then so LED will get on, so that will emit light. When light is emitted from the LED, it will fall on the phototransistor. This light will fall on the phototransistor. Then the phototransistor will become conductive. Okay, that means it will allow current to flow through it. Okay, the photo later means, so the second one, that is phototransistor become conductive and allows the current path to the conductor to indicate the state of the logical signal. So now current will flow through it and it will make this LED to blink. That is an indication of presence of a logical signal, that is input signal. Voltage signal in the circuit entrance, that is this, that is on state of the input device, is transferred as DC voltage of a low or logical level to the microprocessor. Initially input, so it will receive 230 volt AC and the output 5 volt DC. Which is the electrical isolation, that is this isolating high power elements with the elements of the PLC. With the electrical isolation through the optical isolator, a complete decoupling is achieved between the electronic section for the input signal reading and the corresponding microprocessor of the PLC. In this way, it is ensured that a possible short circuit, incorrect connection, transient spikes of the grid voltage, or even an additional noise that is not removed from the modulation unit will not damage the microprocessor. Okay, so with the help of this isolator, you are able to secure or safeguard microprocessor of the PLC. The inputs of a module can either have a separate power supply or require a common one. The separate power supply of the inputs has the advantage that we can connect to the same module various input devices supplied by different power sources. When the inputs have a common negative or low voltage node, then all the input devices should be powered from the same power source. For this reason, in many PLCs, the inputs of a module are grouped into groups of 2, 4 or 8 inputs with a separate power supply. Okay, so this is the representation of isolated supply. So that means, so each, so there is supply input for separate signals. Okay, so this is one input, this is another input, this is another, this is another. Okay, so this is isolated. In this case, so you can provide power from different sources. That is possible. In case of non-isolated supply inputs, okay, so you need to supply from only one source. Okay, all these conversion circuits. Okay, for every input device, so there will be a separate input. Okay, so all this will receive from the same source if it is non-isolated supply input. So here modules of digital inputs with DC supply in a groups of 4 or 8 inputs. So in the last point, so there is a statement that so these are grouped as 2, 4, okay, 8, 12 inputs. So here you can see, so in this first case, so it is grouped into 4 inputs. Okay, 4, 4 into one group. So here 8, 8 into one group. That means for these 4 inputs, so there will be one source. These 4, there will be another source. So here also for 8, there will be one source. For another 8, there will be a different source. Okay, next, digital output modules. So the functioning of output modules also same as input modules. So in case of output modules, so low power logic signal, that means from 5 volt DC to you have to convert that signal into a high power signal. It may be 24 volt DC or it may be 230 volt AC. Okay, you have to strengthen the signal in case of digital output modules. In case of input modules, so you are reducing the signal strength from high power to low power logic signal. Okay, the results of the logical processing of an automation program are stored in the output image table and are transferred subsequently through the digital output module to the output device. So in previous class we discussed about input image table and output image table. Okay, so if there is presence of a signal, that will be stored in a particular row, in particular column, okay, in with some pattern, okay, that will indicate a presence of a signal. Okay, and processor will scan through that, and if there is presence of that signal, based on that it will execute a program. So that we discussed in previous class. Okay, the results of the logical processing of an automation program are stored in the output image table and are transferred subsequently through the digital output module to the output devices. The results of the program execution are logic signals that should be altered into power signals. That means from, for example, so 5 volt DC to 230 volts AC. Okay, so this conversion need to be done inside the digital output module, capable of energizing the corresponding output devices. Because in order to switch on or switch off an actuator, it may require AC supply. Okay, so in order to do that, so you have to strengthen the signal. That means you have to do this conversion. Okay, again block diagram of operations inside a digital output module. Okay, it is reverse of that. So for the previous case, so you are starting from 230 volt AC and you are supplying 5 volt DC to microprocessor of the PLC. Okay, whereas in this case, so input, okay, will be having 5 volt DC. Okay, this should be converted into 220 or 230 volt AC. Okay, in Indian context, it will be 230 volt AC. So again, this multiplexing electronics. So here it will do demultiplexing. So that means it will decode the signals. Okay, in case of input module, so the function of multiplexer is to group similar signals and to deliver them serially. Okay, now it is going to receive those signals. Now it has to decode it back. Okay, and it has to send to corresponding output devices. Okay, so that is the function of this multiplexing electronics. Latching electronics or latching unit. Okay, it is going to do a function of temporary storage of signals. Okay, that is the function of latching electronics, temporary storage. So again, optical isolation, same. Okay, it is going to isolate this low power logic signal with high power signal. That is the function of optical isolator. Next, signal level conversion, that is conversion from this 5 volt DC to 220 volt, 230 volt AC. Okay, so then status indication of output, there will be LED which will indicate the status. Next, terminal blocks. So here you are going to insert the cables. You are going to connect cables of output devices with PLC with the help of these terminal blocks. Okay, again, output devices may be relays, electric valves, indication lamps. Okay, so and other devices. So when the logic signals from the output image table are transferred serially to the output module, then in the demultiplexing unit, that is the multiplexing in the reverse way, these signals are decoded and transmitted to the respective individual outputs of the output module. Since the logical signals are sent periodically by the microprocessor to the output module, the PLC should have some kind of memory to retain or store the signals until the next transmission of the signals from the microprocessor. So the function of this latching, okay, is to store. Since the logical signals are sent periodically by the microprocessor to the output module, the PLC should have some kind of memory that will be done with the help of latching circuit. The maintenance of these signals is performed by an integrated circuit that is called latch or hold. Okay, so this is the conversion circuit. Okay, so initially, so 5 volt DC from the PLC, okay, from the processor of the PLC. So there will be a logic signal which is having 5 volt DC, okay, and there is an indicator, okay, which will show presence or absence of signal. Okay, so optical isolator, so same we discussed. Okay, so when there is a supply, okay, so then it will be switched on. So when it is in switched on mode, when LED blinks, okay, there will be a light which is going to fall on this photo transistor, then it will get actuated, it will allow current to flow through it. So that's how it will work. Okay, next, here switching element is triac. So there are different switching elements. This triac is one such switching element. Similarly, you can use relay, transistor as switching elements. Okay. So then the signal is conditioned through RS and C. This is a resistor and this is a capacitor. Okay, so this variance, fuse. So every component in the circuit have their own function. Okay, fuse for safety purpose. Okay, so variance and this RSCS in combination. So they have a function to do. So that we'll discuss in next slide. Okay, and this for AC, so it will be provided from an external source. Depending on the signal from this circuit, so this AC will be supplied from the external source that we'll discuss. Okay, similarly, there will be an external electric connection. If it is connected to terminal block 2, so LED will indicate the presence or absence of the signal. So in the conversion circuit of the output signals, weak signals, that is logical signals, are coming from the processor of the PLC and are converted into power signals with current and voltage levels capable of driving output devices that demand power consumption. Therefore, every digital output module requires an external power source which supplies the output devices through the switching components of the converter circuit. Okay, so this is the external power source. When the triac changes its switching state, it is possible to create a large inductive voltage sufficient to cause damage to the electronic circuit. Okay, when there is change in switching state, so there will be high voltage in the line. Okay, so and that may result in damage to the circuit. So this will be addressed by utilization of the combination of resistor and capacitor, that is RS and CS. So these two. Okay, that is called surge suppressor. So the varistor element also limits the transient phenomena and the noise. Again, it will balance the noise created by this switching state of triac. In series with the switch element, a fuse is introduced for protection from the overload of the output circuit and therefore the output device. Okay, so these are some of the output devices: relays, okay, solenoids, then LEDs are other lights, okay, devices for alarm indication, coils of electropneumatic valves, electronic devices that require an activation input or a change in their on-off state. Okay, instead of using triac, that is one switching element. So in this circuit, relay is used. Okay, and in this circuit, transistor is used as a switching element. Okay, so this is again same as input modules. So here also you can supply power as isolated supply. So that means for each signal, okay, so there are for each circuit there will be a separate power source if it is isolated supply. So if it is non-isolated, from one single source you need to provide power to all these circuits. Here also you can group them similar to input modules. So we are grouping into 4, grouping into 8.